It's happening. DOGE is considering no longer letting senior citizens file Social Security claims over the phone and requiring them to do it online or in person. In order to save money, DOGE is getting ready to save $5 of the federal budget by cutting Social Security's phone program. $5 whole. Old people famously known for getting out of the house and using the internet. I've seen that tweet. That's a joke, right? I mean, it might be like $50. I don't really know. Under pressure from the U.S. DOGE service team to root out alleged fraud, the Social Security Administration is considering dramatically curtailing the phone services that 73 million retired and disabled Americans rely on to apply for and access their earned government benefits, according to two people briefed on internal deliberations and records obtained by the Washington Post. So to fathom how insane this is, DOGE, the non-official Elon Musk brown shirt branch, is putting pressure on the Social Security Administration to cut money, and they're like, to appease our oligarch overlord, maybe we could cut our phone services? Because they're trying to find ways to cut spending that don't directly cut into the money that is pulled from the entitlement. The attempted cuts to Social Security are so comically evil they've had to be reversed in Maine already. Feds reinstate Mainers' ability to register newborns for Social Security numbers at hospital. Reinstate? They took away the ability to get a Social Security number at birth? This Social Security Administration has reinstated Maine parents' ability to register their newborns for a Social Security number at the hospital just days after telling state officials that program had ended. No reason has been given for either change. Okay. Why Maine specifically? Who knows? All of this is random and being done by the stupidest people alive. We're not making it to GTA 6. Hey, listen, Elon said he doesn't like Grand Theft Auto games because you have to shoot at cops. Maine was the state whose governor stood up to Trump. Oh, that's true. When they had that governor's meeting, Maine was the Maine governor was the only one that like directly challenged Trump, and Trump was like, yeah, well, enjoy your state while it lasts. So he like hit at the space where the red fire the nuke button would be if he was at the Oval Office. So that's cool. I don't really know how to engage with this. Do you have any idea how terrifying not being able to register your children for a Social Security number as a concept? Do you have like any idea? Do they really need it? Nah. Relevant, DOGE is also cutting Social Security phone staff and in-person offices. Really? You mean this article that we had up 2 minutes ago? You goofball. Pay attention. Pay attention, you second monitor viewer. We're doing politics here. Oh, boy. I'm trying to find the clip that I'm looking for, but Elon Musk in a recent interview, I think with Fox Business, just openly... Oh yeah, here we go.
In entitlement, the way support in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. So that's like the big one to eliminate, because that's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $600-700 billion a year.
God, he's so boring. Yeah, sorry about the banality of evil. I wish it could be more. I wish it could be more interesting. DOGE is urgently looking for wins to show public as they try to clean up PR mess. All of the big fraud saves that they've bragged about, they've had to renege on because they were completely made up. It turns out there's actually not much fraud in the government. That interview is crazy. We'll watch the entire thing. I'm just low on time today. I've got a lot to do. The Elon Musk-led service is hoping to rebrand itself after weeks of negative media coverage and public mistakes. There is an urgent need to promote DOGE's achievements, two sources told the outlet. Musk also claimed Ukraine tried to hack Twitter when it was a pro-Palestinian group that did it. Okay. Whatever. Sure, man, whatever. I'm not kidding. Do you have any idea how bad it would be for Social Security services to cut phone access? Can you even... 73 million people rely on it, and none of these people know how to use the internet. Basically, people will die. People will die. No, this is it. Literally millions. I will call it millions of old people, sad, lonely old people who don't have kids, who don't talk to their kids, who don't have much of a connection to the world, or people who already benefit from Social Security, but they don't know how to, they've been using their phone for it. The phone line is going to be disconnected They're not going to know what's going on. They're not keeping up with all the news. They're not keeping up with everything that's going on. They're going to be getting their benefits, so on and so forth. They're going to need some change, a change in address, a change of where they need their direct deposit, a change of where they need them checks mailed, whatever. The phone's not going to work. They're not going to know what to do. They're just going to die. They're just going to die. We're talking about like the highest level, the most critical level of needed care for the most, to be clear, like disabled and elderly people. We're talking about people who can't take care of themselves very well, on average. Not to diminish them, okay? There are plenty of elderly people and disabled people who are very, very, very competent, but they're also, as a group, very vulnerable. Very, very vulnerable people. Social Security is the most successful government program in American history. Yep, it cuts, what was it? It cuts elderly poverty to like, what, by half? By 2/3? 2/3. And it could be solvent forever if we just got rid of the Social Security and Medicaid cap for wealthy spenders. I'd get hit by this too, but I'll tank it because I'm a hero. I'm a hero to the American people. Billionaires, what is it? What's it? 7.5%? If the 15%? Everyone, if you make $1 billion in a year, oh, you know where 15% of that billion is going? Yoink! That shit's going straight into the goddamn pot. And maybe you don't need it, but somebody else will. Well, more than somebody else, right? A lot of people. 150K is the max, right? 148K, I think. For those of you who don't know, you have regular federal income taxes, and a portion of the federal income tax, portion of what you pay Medicaid, you pay Medicaid, you pay Social Security. Everyone pays into it, no matter what, everyone pays into it. And if you work for a regular job, the job pays 1/2 of it, but you only pay up to like 148K per year. If you make more than that, you don't have to pay those taxes anymore. Like the federal income tax just scales up and up and up. But for some reason, even though the government spends so much money on Social Security and Medicaid, if you're wealthy, you don't have to pay any more into it. How much is the highest income tax in the US? Here it's like 60%. It's like 34% here. The highest federal income tax bracket is like 37 now. That's crazy. 37, it's like nothing. Also, the wealthy don't pay that. It's not like Elon Musk pays taxes. 176,100. At Social Security, the DOGE team was initially focused on fears that dead people were fraudulently receiving benefits, according to the 2 people in the records, but in meetings last month, the career staff explained the appearance of people with impossibly long lifespans on the rolls was an unfortunate feature of an antiquated technology system, and that none of the deceased people or their relatives were actually receiving benefits. The DOGE team appeared to drop the matter, the people said. I don't know what's more despair-inducing, the fact that they're lying so transparently, or the fact that the people with the power to destroy the country are so stupid that they seem to be like disheartened by the knowledge that their wrong point is wrong. Like, what's worse, them knowingly lying about the 250-year-old people getting benefits, or them pushing that point, but then backing off in what seems to be a recognition that the thing that was obviously a lie was a lie? It's worse that they don't know, right? They're like surprised every time. Like they seem to be bewildered when they get upset about it. Like, I think Elon believes a lot of the stuff that he's lying about. Wait, are you saying this isn't intentional? I'm saying that intentionality isn't a binary. I think that you can hype yourself up to the point where you believe in the lies that you create and buy your own bullshit. And you know you're lying up until the point where you don't. It's difficult for us to get in that headset because we're not them. We're not like them. We're people. We're like regular people. We're not walking demons, but you know. Do you think they're just acting upset for PR? No, if it was for PR, they wouldn't have admitted it's a problem to begin with. They wouldn't be walking back anything. They wouldn't have admitted that they lied about the contract changes, the amount that they saved. They wouldn't have taken stuff off their big wall of receipts website. Why are they fretting about not having a PR win? Haven't they been broadcasting quote unquote PR victories nonstop for 2 months now? Like every day there's like 50 points. They're like, yeah, here's what we did, you know? They're really bad at this. Did we watch this guy yell about Elon and DOGE at the committee yet? No.
Where's the independence of the committee? Where's the legislature?
Holy shit, the blowout.
We're an equal branch of government. and you start off with a blather, and yet we look at the empty seats here. Where's Elon Musk? I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the
No, you got to drop that. You got to drop that. You got to push it on.
wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come
It sounds like
before this
sarcasm.
committee
Maybe.
in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he found are so eminent, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why. Because he's out to privatize Social Security.
At least he has energy. Yeah, every Democrat should be that angry, at a minimum, that angry 100% of the time. 100% of the time, they should be that angry. There's no reason not to. Get some goddamn throat lozenges. Get yourself some Ricolas. You know, establish an IV drip of cold medicine and get to it, okay? Have some warm tea with like honey in it. There actually is some good news on that front, though I don't know what it's actually going to lead to. Judge orders urgent release of DOGE records, citing unprecedented power and unusual secrecy. Thank God. A federal judge has ruled that DOGE is wielding so much power that its records will likely have to be open to the public under federal law. You know what that means, guys? FOIA requests! Ken Klippenstein, where are you? Ding, 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 ding. 50 out there a day. Do you think they keep any record of anything they do? If they can't provide a record, then that's a whole new avenue, right? The argument has been from the Trump administration that DOGE, because DOGE is so extra special, secret, extra good, it is immune to FOIA requests. It operates under the executive privilege. That's what they've tried to argue. It's a special executive branch. The president and the president's dealings are not subject to FOIA requests because the president, as the head of state, has lots of top secret stuff. Basically, the idea is that anything that Congress does and anything that the administrative state does, you should be able to follow, like you should be able to learn about all of it, right? Unless there's a specific national security designation. The president is immune. The president is presumed to have national security protections. And the argument has been it's the same for DOGE, because DOGE is like, because Elon Musk is the shadow president. U.S. District Judge Christopher Cooper is saying vast and unprecedented authority of DOGE, combined with its unusual secrecy, warrants the urgent release of its internal documents under the Freedom of Information Act. Somebody earlier asked what FOIA is. It's a Freedom of Information Act request. Basically, if you're Ken Klippenstein, specifically, and you don't like a government official or agency, you can file a request for information on something. And it's actually a surprisingly exploratory, like you can learn a lot, You can actually find out quite a bit. Obviously, you can't FOIA request like the CIA and go like, hey, can you tell me everything you're doing right now in the name of your agents? There are things that are protected, but for the most part, things don't. And usually you need a pretty high level of scrutiny in order to receive the protections from FOIA requests that you would need to avoid Ken Klippenstein specifically. The authority exercised by USDS across that's the U.S. Digital Service, which is DOGE, that's DOGE by another name, across the federal government, and the dramatic cuts it has apparently made with no congressional input appear to be unprecedented, Cooper wrote in a 37-page opinion. You need to know how to file it, though. They've sent back entirely blacked out docs before. Yes, 100%. Yeah. You do need to know what you're doing to request. You can't just send an email saying like, yeah, can I hear more about X or whatever. It's the first significant ruling in a growing legal push to pierce DOGE's secretive veil, a decision that undercuts Musk's repeated insistence about the operation's transparency. Right, they keep bragging about how transparent the operation is, but they are doing everything they can to protect it from FOIA requests. Incredible. Who's Ken Klippenstein? Ken Klippenstein. Is it Steen or Stein, by the way? I actually don't know which it is. I've only read the name a million times. I've never heard it out loud. It's Steen, right? It would be Steen in the German pronunciation. It's Stein? Oh, okay. I've heard Stein. Okay. Stein in German, but people don't pronounce it Stein, right? Like Ken isn't German enough that people would be pronouncing it Stein. Like that would be if you were German, but as a non-German speaker, I would just say Ken Klippenstein. German is Stein with a long I-E for Jewish. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because a lot of Jewish names are German. So is it just like the designation, like there's a split, I guess? People pronounce the surname Feinstein both ways. Yeah, I have heard that. I have heard that. Well, whatever. Jamie Raskin announces FOIA demands for personal data held by DOGE and Elon Musk. You can find out every American social security number or something like that. U.S. Rep. Raskin is encouraging all U.S. citizens to join him this week in filing formal demands for access to their personal data obtained by DOGE and Elon Musk. He sent in his request this afternoon. The vulnerability of DOGE to the Freedom of Information Act would be absolutely enormous. It would basically open them up to unlimited scrutiny all the time. And with how much attention DOGE drives, with how much people demand, how much they spend their time in the media, I think that it would be kind of ruinous for them. Will they even comply? Every request is its own legal battle, which is the nice thing, right? If they're open to Freedom of Information Act requests, they can't just ignore every one, because if they ignore every one of those then becomes its own legal challenge. You know, every one of them then becomes its own open inquiry, its own mode of investigation. That's the whole point. Eventually, they might not be able to defend themselves. Trump's going to issue an executive order to stop bullying Elon. He's already done that. Court asked to intervene after email tells USAID workers to destroy classified documents. That's great. That's good. But does the law even matter anymore, though? It seems like the law matters less the closer you get to Elon and more the farther you get from him, which is sort of redundant, I guess, to frame it that way. No, it does. The law, exactly. The law matters selectively, and the more pressure you apply on them, the better. You know, there is a reason why our enemies go out of their way to lie and pretend that what they are doing is legal. You know, destroy classified documents. Jesus. Well, we'll see how it goes, I suppose. The law is only as good as the people enforcing it, sadly. Well, thankfully, you know, we have, there are some judges who are not entirely on board with the country being raped to death by a moronic tech oligarch.